Hello and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to my Game of Thrones Legends mobile game content. Today I want to continue the Pro Tips series with Pro Tip number 10, and that's going to be what is the most important piece of gear that you need to be leveling first before anything else. So I wanted to let you know that I appreciate you being here watching, and before we get started today, I just wanted to say that I do have the ability to take on some new members in our house. We have a house named The Savage Garden. So if you're interested in joining that house, send me a message on Discord. My username is Nemodius, capital Namodias. And that's my username. If you'll send me a private message on Discord, or a friend request actually on Discord, I will get back with you with an invite. And we'll get you in the Discord, and then we'll get you hooked up with the Savage Garden if you're interested in a good house to join that's solid and active and friendly and fun and doing top tier content. So anyway, let's talk about item pro tip number 10, and that is what is the gear that's most important for you to level before anything else, really. So if you look at my Daenerys, you'll see that I have just about all best in slot items except for one, that one right there. This one does not have the subclass bonus, and for whatever reason I've had fits trying to find that. But if you look at, and you're wondering why I'm calling it best in slot, it's because you can see that she is a strategist, but she is also have a subclass of idealist. And you'll see that symbol over each piece of gear except for that armor there, because that armor is actually for, what is that? Can't really tell what subclass that is. Oh, there it is right up here. Well, it says the class of the champion. Okay, well, that is the subclass for that piece of gear, and that's the only one that I like on her set, having all best in slot. Now, when we're talking about the gear and what to level, you need to understand that each piece of gear levels a different stat. So if you look at the first piece in her retinue, you'll see that the health is what is enhanced by this piece of gear. This is a level 37 outfit, and it adds to her health. The next piece adds to defense in that slot. The third slot where the ring is adds to defense as well. The fourth slot where that shield is adds to attack power. And you can see those corresponding stats right there in the middle of the screen. By Daenerys' waist, you'll see where it shows the axe or the attack power of 17.3, shielding of 14.5, that's the defense, and the health pool 33.2k. All of those stats are derived from the levels that you put into the characters based on the star level and the gear enhancing that you have done. But there's one piece of equipment that's more important than all the rest, and this is the piece of equipment that you need to focus on, number one priority right off the bat. First thing, and that's the weapon slot. First thing you need to do is try to find you an epic that is the proper subclass, because if you do not have the proper subclass, I would not advise trying to take this piece of gear to level 50 like I have done. Maximum for epic gear is level 50, and you can see the reason why it's so important is because this piece of gear adds to all three stats. Why they've chosen to do that, I don't know, but this one piece of gear will enhance all three: attack, defense, and hit points. Now, that makes this piece of gear the most important piece of gear in your set. So when you leveled your gear, level this one first, because you will get the most bang for your buck all the way across the board. Yes, certain types of characters have certain roles, like Ned is a meat shield. He's somebody that you're going to want to focus on defense and hit points, because he is there for survivability. He is there to take hits. So you want him to be able to take more hits. So you focus on that gear for him. But just like every character, you need to focus on your weapon first. Just like Daenerys, she is a nuker. She is the one that does damage. And she is focusing on her attack power first. So I max her weapon, and then based on how she plays, I'll probably go in here to this slot and start working on this one next, because I want her damage as high as possible, because she's the one doing the most of my damage. I need her doing a lot. So that's why that one would be next on my list. Unless I'm just having trouble with keeping her alive, then I may think about popping some into defense and health too. But like I said, the weapon is the most important piece of gear you have. You need to level that to max first. It's going to take a lot of food, it's going to take a lot of time and effort, but you can get there. You just have to keep up with your farms and your farmers. Make sure you're leveling them up so that they will return you the most food per hour that you can get. And then you also need to be actively searching your PvP ladder for battles that give you a lot of food. If you're trying to enhance your gear, that's one way to get more than you normally would if you're not paying attention. Now, like I said earlier, I would focus on trying to get an epic that is typed for the subclass in this spot before you put all your effort into trying to get it to level 50. Because if we look down the list at a Stolen Dornish Cutlass, level 1, it has stats of 410, 410, and 875. I can't really tell. Okay, so Catalog of Kings, I can tell you, is 471, 471, 1006. It is the proper subclass, so it has the subclass bonus. So obviously you can see that by equipping that Stolen Dornish Cutlass, I'm missing out on a lot of stats that I wouldn't get otherwise. So that's why it's important to focus on that subclass. Now, one thing that you may want to think about is if you do not have an epic in your weapon slot, what do? Okay, well, obviously the next thing to do is equip a common. I hate to have to do that because I feel like epics are pretty easy to get, so you should be able to have an epic at this point if you're watching this video. But equip a common if you have to, but look for a common that has the proper subclass, because the commons have the subclass bonus as well. You can see why by looking at that Bear Island Longsword that it's much more cost efficient to put an epic in there, even if it's not the proper subclass, because the stats are just so much higher. So would I suggest putting a common of the proper subclass in there over and just a random epic that's not subclassed? No, because you will get way more stats by just putting the epic in there to begin with. Now, I wouldn't focus all my effort onto leveling that item, because if you put it up to 50, yes, you could then turn around and use it to enhance the proper subclass item when you get it, but you've spent a lot of food at that point and it almost seems like a waste. So if you have to equip an epic that's not the proper subclass, I would suggest just taking it up to 15 or so. That way you can benefit from the stats bonus, but you don't waste all your time and food taking something up that you're not going to keep there. Okay, so that was a short little thing about what is the most important piece of gear to level up. I hope that this helped you understand how the gear system works and why it's important. And, you know, I hope that this content is helping you get better at the game, because I'm learning, so I want to share that stuff with you because you guys are really important to me, and I want to make sure you're learning all this stuff as I'm learning it too, so we can grow the community and make us stronger. So thank you for watching my content today. I really appreciate your time. Thank you very much.